A very good morning to all the students. This video for the class 7th, subject science, chapter number 8, that is wind, storms and cyclones. This is your lecture number 2nd. Next, so the topics to be covered in this video lecture. So the first topic that we are going to cover is air exerts pressure. Second topic is high speed winds are accompanied by reduced air pressure. Third one is wind currents. The fourth one is how are wind currents generated on earth. Air is a mixture of gases, that is 78% of the air represent nitrogen and 21% is oxygen, and the 1% that is other gases are carbon monoxide, argon, methane and carbon dioxide. So the moving air is called as wind. Now we are going to understand how the air is formed. Air is formed by the heat of the sun, or it may be said that the unequal heating of different parts of the air forms wind. So the air is formed by the heat of the sun, or it may be said that the unequal heating of the different part of the air forms the wind. Moving on second slide. First is air exerts pressure. So how the air exerts pressure? The continuous physical forces exerted on an object or against an object when something comes in contact with it is called pressure. The continuous physical force that exerted on an object or against that object or something that is come in contact with it is called pressure. So the air exerts pressure in a different way, under different situation, and on all the objects and in all the direction. So the air pressure helps the leaves of the trees, the banners or the flag to flutter when the wind is blowing. It causes the tire balloons to easily inflate. This air exert pressures can be observed in our daily life in many activities, like when we fly a kite, the wind coming from the behind that exerts some pressure, okay, and make the kite fly in the sky, and you can feel the pressure in the string while holding it. Or while riding a bicycle, it is difficult to ride against the direction of a wind, as you can feel the pressure of air against you. This is also an example of air exerts pressure. Okay. Moving on, the importance of the air pressure. What are the importance of air pressure? So it creates wind. It influences the weather of air movement. For example, downward or the upward movement of the air that goes due to the difference in pressure creates the cloudy and bring the rain or fine weather. It also helps to bring the rain and fine weather. Weather forecasting, the changes in air pressure gives the important clue for the weather forecasting. Okay. Next is the air pressure is measured by an instrument called as barometer. So the unit of pressure is bar. So the term name is barometer. So the air pressure is measured by an instrument called barometer. For example, when we ride a bicycle against the direction of a wind, or a boat against the wind direction, okay, or flying a kite against the direction of a wind, then we can feel the air pressure. So these are the example of the air pressure, when the air exerts some pressure on it. High speed winds are accompanied by reduced air pressure. Air moves from the region of higher pressure to lower pressure. Air always moves from higher pressure to the lower pressure. So the greater the difference in pressure, the faster the air moves. It is due to the heat of the sun, from which air becomes warm and producing a low pressure. Next is when the warm air rises up and the cool air from the surrounding moves toward the sea. Next is the speed of that wind can be measured using a tool called an anemometer. Okay, anemometer is the instrument used to measure the wind speed. Okay, it is an indicator that spins when the wind blows. Okay, this anemometer rotates at the same speed as the wind. Next is the third topic of this lecture, wind currents. So, to understand the wind currents, we must know what is wind and what causes wind to blow. So, first we are going to discuss about the what is wind. Wind is air that is moving across the earth. It goes by the movement of the air from the one region to the another region due to the difference in temperature and air pressure. Okay, so this up and down movement or cycle of rising warm air and descending cool air generates the movement of air called winds. For example, as the sun warms up the earth's surface and this warm air expands and rises up. Okay, as the warm air rises, the cool air from the another region moves and takes its place. Then the warm air that has gone up begin to cool and start coming down. So this up and down movement or the cycle of a rising warm air and descending the cool air generates the movement of air, that is wind. The topic is what causes the winds to blow. What causes the winds to blow? As the sun warms the earth's surface, then the atmosphere warms up too. So the sun part of the earth receives direct rays from the sun and so are warm. In another hand, the other place receives indirect rays and so are colder. So the warmer air rises up, then the cool air moves in and replaces the rising warm air. In other places, receive the indirect rays, so they are colder. So the warmer air, which is less than the cold air, so it rises up, because the warmer air is lighter in weight, so it rises up. Okay, then the cool air moves in and replaces the rising warm air. This movement of air is what makes the wind blow. Okay. Moving on our next topic, that is topic number 4. How are wind currents generated on earth? So wind currents are generated due to the uneven heating of the earth. There are the two reasons. So first reason is uneven heating between the equator and the poles of the earth, and the second reason, the uneven heating of land and water on earth. So let's start with the first reason, the uneven heating between the equator and the poles of the earth. First reason is uneven heating between the equator and the poles of the earth. As the sun warms up the earth unevenly because the equator of the earth is nearest to the sun, so it's get maximum heat. Next, the region around the equator of earth get heated and warm up the air. This warmer air is also called as hot air. So being a lighter moves up and create a low pressure. Okay, so to take up its place, cooler air from the region 0 to 30 degree latitude present on both the side of equator. Okay, hence the movement of wind or wind currents between 0 to 30 degree latitude is toward the equator. So the wind blow towards the equator from the north and the south of the earth. In the same way, the poles are the coldest region. As you know, the air at the poles is colder than. okay, at the latitude of 60 degree. As the warm air from these latitudes rises up, so the cold air from the poles rushes in to take its place. Hence, the movement of the wind or wind current in the pole is from the poles toward the 60 degree latitude. Okay, as you can see in this picture, from here, this is the equator line and these are the two poles, north pole and the south pole. So at the equator, region around the equator, the earth gets heated up, okay, and warm up the air. So being in lighter in weight, it goes up, okay, it goes up and create a low pressure area at the equator. Then both the side of the equator moves in to take the place, as you can see in this picture. Okay, so the movement of wind or wind currents between 0 to 30 degree latitude is toward the equator. So the wind blow toward the equator from north and south of the earth. Okay, in the same way, at the pole are the coldest region. Okay, so the air at the pole is colder than at the latitude of 60 degree. Okay, as the warmer air from these latitude rises up, warmer air rises up, okay, the colder air from the poles rushes in to take its place, it takes the place. Then the movement of wind or wind currents at the pole is from the poles towards the 60 degree latitude. Okay, these wind blow from the north pole and south pole toward the warmer region. Okay, next reason is uneven heating of land and water on the earth. First is, during the summer, the lands get heated faster than the water in the ocean. Then, therefore, the air over the land rises up, okay, and creating a low pressure area on a land. Then the air from the ocean rushes to the land. Then wind blows from the ocean toward the land. So the wind blow from the ocean toward the land are monsoon winds. These winds are coming from the ocean. They are laden with the water and are called as monsoon wind. As you can see in this picture, wind carrying a lot of water blowing from the southwest direction towards the land. Okay. Next, during the winters, the direction of wind flow is reversed because the land cools down faster than the water in oceans. So the warm air from the ocean rises up, okay, and create a low pressure over the ocean. Then the cool air from the land rushes in to take that place, that empty place. The wind blow from the land toward the ocean in winters. These winds coming from the colder land area, so they do not carry much water, and so therefore it's not much rain in the winter. As you can see in this picture, the uneven heating of a land and water in a winter generates wind from the northwest. From the northwest colder land, these colder winds carries a little water, hence brings a small amount of rain in water. Okay, not much rain in the winter, so therefore not much rain in the winters happen. Okay, now it's time for the homework of lecture number 2nd. The first question is, you have to tell the statement is true or false. So the first question is, in summers the wind flow from the land toward the ocean is true or false. Second is, warmer air is lighter than the cool air. Second question is, in winters why does winds blow from land to sea area. Question number 3 is state the 2 reasons for wind currents. You have to state the 2 reasons for the wind currents. And the 4th question is solve the NCERT question number 1st, question number 2nd, question number 3rd in your science fair notebook. You have to write down all the answers of these questions in science notebook. Okay, this is it about this today's lecture. Hope you have understood this lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.